जय। श्रीमद् सद्गुरु सरकार की जय। मत प्रेयान राधिका प्रेयान मद्धवो राधिका धवः तस्मादपि गरीयान्यो कृपालुर्मे जगद्गुरुः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुर्गुरुर्देवः सदाशिवः। न गुरोरधिकः कश्चित् त्रिषु लोकेषु विद्यते। नमः कमलना भाय नमः कमलमालिने नमः कमल पादाय नमस्ते कमलेक्षण। यो ब्रह्माणं विदधाति पूर्वं यो वै वेदांश्च प्रहिणोति तस्मै तग्वं हा देवमात्म बुद्धिप्रकाशं मुमुक्षुर्वै शरणमहं प्रपद्ये। Inquisitive souls, I have been explaining a very beautiful kirtan by Sri Maharaj Ji, which is Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu, Sadhana Karu Pyare. You can please turn to page 165 in your bhajan book, in our new bhajan book. And we begin with the third last line. सेव्य सो संबंध अपनो जानु गुरु सो प्यारे। सेव्य सो संबंध अपनो जानु गुरु सो प्यारे। जानु गुरु सो प्यारे। साधना करू साधना करू साधना करू प्यारे। साधना करू साधना करू साधना करू प्यारे। साधना करू प्यारे। The Guru is imploring his disciple very lovingly, do sadhana, practice devotion. You are a sadhak, and sadhana, practice of devotion, is your life itself. The Guru says, according to what Bhagwan has said in the scriptures, learn about your relationship with God from the Guru. This is what the Guru teaches the disciple, that you must learn about God. And the Guru speaks about himself in the third person. He doesn't say, learn from me, I am a Guru. But a Guru does not have to proclaim himself to be a Guru. One who is searching for a Guru will find a Guru. So the beauty of the Guru is that he does not say that he is a Guru. Once when a small boy wrote to Sri Maharaj Ji from Canada and said, Maharaj Ji, you are God, and I am, and he praised Maharaj Ji in similar terms, in these terms. Sri Maharaj Ji wrote him back, said, my son, I'm just like you, I'm an ordinary person, but if I can help you learn something about God, then I consider myself very fortunate. I'm very happy if I can help you. A guru has no ego. The guru hides his divinity because of his humility. And aheriva gatih premnaha. The nature of love is like the nature of a snake, ahi. A snake moves about in a very crooked fashion. In the same way, the saint, one whose every pore of being is pervaded by God, he does not proclaim himself to be a guru. He hides his divinity, and to the world, to most people in the world, he seems like an ordinary person. So the guru hides his divinity. But it is through the guru that we find out about our relationship with God. We may earn very, very fancy degrees, but at the end of the day, we don't really know who we are. A devotee said to Sri Maharajji, Maharajji, I'm a teacher. Maharajji said, I know, you're for teacher. In other words, you're a teacher, but you don't know anything. You don't even know who you are. So you need to learn. Maharajji, I'm a doctor. I know, you're my patient. You're suffering from Maya, the disease of Maya. So how much knowledge do we really have if we don't even know who we are? The basic knowledge of who am I? Mac on, who am I? We think we know it, but we don't. Why don't we know it? Because we definitely believe that we are the body. We misidentify the self to be the body. The scriptures are screaming, saying, no, you're wrong, you're wrong. You're not the body, you are the Atma, you are the soul. The body is something you have. It is not what you are. Money, you have money. So you have money, you are not money. You have a house, you are not the house. You have clothes, you have jewelry, you have a computer, you have a laptop, you have an iPhone. You're not an iPhone, you're not a laptop, you're none of this, none of these. You are the Atma. Only the Guru can give this knowledge, because everyone in the world will tell you, oh, you're my daughter, you're my son, you're my brother, you're my sister. The moment a child is born, family members start to confuse him. The mother says, I'm your mommy. Say mommy, say mama, mama, mama. And the father says, he goes in competition. He says, no, say dada, dada. I'm your daddy. Say dada. If the child says dada first, then the mother feels very, very sad. He loves his father more. The child has no idea who mother and father are, but the mother feels sad. Or if the child learns to say mama first, then the father feels very sad. Oh, he loves his mother more. Right from the moment we are born, people of the world start to confuse us. They start giving us wrong information. They don't mean any harm, but it's just that they don't know. They don't know, so they teach us only what they know. So the child starts learning that this is my mommy, this is my daddy, and then in the beginning, he has no attachments. There's a newborn, and his mother dies while giving birth to him. The newborn is not affected in the least by his mother's death. Everyone else is crying, everyone is feeling sorry for this child who is now motherless. The child is not affected in the least. But as that child grows older, the child forms many attachments. And so we become very, very attached to the world because we think, I am the body. This is what we are taught by the world. God forbid that a guru should come along and teach us the reality that you're not the body, you're the Atma. And family members take offense. What are you learning from that Guruji? क्या पट्टी पढ़ा रहे हैं तुम्हें वो? What is he teaching you? He's brainwashing you. Brainwashing. To be brainwashed, to brainwash someone, isn't that a good thing? You wash their brain, give them good knowledge, right knowledge, correct knowledge. The people start saying, hum Guruji se baat karenge. We wish you'll speak to your Guruji. Your Guruji has done this to you. He has taught you the wrong thing. People of the world will not tell you that you are the Atma. They will try their best to teach you the wrong lesson, and that is, you are the body, and look, these family members, they are yours, and they are your flesh and blood. They are your one and only. I am your one and only. And so the child grows up being very attached. How many parents are there in the world who will teach their child, look, I'm not your mother, and this is not your father. Your real mother and father are God. God is your real mother, and God is your real father. There are some parents, but they are very, very rare. They are a rare breed. Sumitra was such a mother, but she was a saint. But she set a great example for all mothers. She said to her son Lakshman, Tat tumhari matu bai dehi, pita ramu sab bhanti sanehi. Son, Ram is your father, and Sita is your mother. What a great mother this is. She's teaching the correct knowledge, the right knowledge to the child. She's not trying to fool the child. Lakshmanji says to Bhagwan Sri Ram, Aham tavan maharaje pitritvam nopalakshaye bhrata bharta cha bandhuscha pita cha me raghava. Valmiki Ramayan. I don't have any father except for you. I have no mother. I have no relative except for you. You are my one and only. He says with so much conviction. He believes it. And that is a fact. I don't know. Dashrathji is not my father. Sumitra is not my mother. My mother is Sita, Vaidehi. And his mother has taught him this. Tat tumhari matu Vaidehi, pita Ramu, sab bhanti sanehi. Mata nasti pita nasti, nasti me swajano janah. Prahlad says this, and these words are in Skanda Puran, one of the 18 Purans. Prahlad says much the same. I don't know any other father. I don't know of any mother. Hiranyakashipu is not my father. Kayadhu is not my real mother. Mata nasti, pita nasti, nasti me swajano janah. I have no relatives. I only know Sri Hari. The Supreme Lord is my one and only. And this is what the Vedas say. And the Vedas are the greatest knowledge. They are the original, these are the eternal words of God. And when I say words of God, God did not speak them, God did not write them. These Vedas, they are the original knowledge, the eternal knowledge of God. They just emanated from the natural breath of God. Sahaj Shwas. Jaki Sahaj Shwas Shruti Chari. Ramcharitmanas. The 4 Vedas, Rig Ved, Yajurved, Samved, and Atharva Ved, they are the eternal knowledge of God. And they are saying, Divyo Deva Eko Narayano Mata Pita Bhrata Nivasa Sharanam Suhrit Gatir Narayan Iti. Subalopanishad, chapter 6, mantra number 4. God and God alone is your everything. He's your one and only. Divyo Deva Eko Narayano Mata, Pita, Bhrata, mother, father, brother, your ultimate shelter, your one and only refuge, that is God. Your one and only destination is God. O souls of the world, O unlimited souls, know that God is your one and only. The Vedas say this. But the whole world is saying, no, 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 this God is not your own. This is your mother, this is your father, these are your siblings. Well, if 7.5 plus billion people, 7.5 billion plus people in the world say that the earth is flat, does it change the fact that the earth is round? You would say no. It doesn't change the fact that the earth is round. But everybody believes that the earth is flat. It doesn't matter what everybody believes, because the truth is not determined by what the majority thinks. The truth stands by itself. It doesn't matter if nobody believes in it. Truth is truth. It is a truth that we belong to God. It's a truth that we are part and parcel of God. It is a truth that we are the individual souls. I am Jivatma. That is a truth. If everyone in the world tells me that that's not true, it doesn't matter what they think. There was, in a school in India, there was an inspector who went to the school, and there are inspectors of schools who go and do some checking, and they just go to classrooms and the teacher asks some questions, or they might ask questions to the students. And so there was an inspector. He went to an all-boys school, and when he went to a classroom, he just, everybody, all the boys stood up, and they said, "Good morning, sir." And then he said, "Okay, please sit down." Then he just wanted to ask them a few questions, general knowledge questions. And he said, "Now, boys, who can tell me the answer to my question? Simple question. Who broke Shiv Dhanush? Who broke the bow of Lord Shiva?" And there was complete silence. Nobody raised their hand, nobody stood up. So he repeated his question, "Who broke Shiv Dhanush? Tell me, boys, simple question." Nobody knew. Nobody said anything. They didn't raise their hand, they didn't get up. So the teacher was now embarrassed that nobody's raising their hand. So the teacher stood up and said, "Now, come on, boys. Give the answer to the question, who broke the Shiv Dhanush?" And he looked at the most mischievous boy in the class as he said this. And that boy got so frightened, he got up trembling and he said, "Sir, I promise, I didn't break it." I know, if it's broken, it's not my fault. I didn't break it. And the inspector's looking at the teacher saying, What is this boy saying? And the teacher said, "Sir, I know he's saying he didn't break it, but I believe he's the one." He's always breaking something or the other. He breaks the chalks, he breaks so many things. He broke his desk. He's always breaking something. I'm sure he's the one. I'll get the truth out of him. And the inspector was incredulous. What is this? So he marched on to the principal's office and he said, "Principal Sahib, sir, what is going on in your school? I asked a question, who broke the Shiv Dhanush?" And the boy got up and said, "I didn't break it." And the teacher said, "I'm sure he broke it. What is going on? Who broke the Shiv Dhanush? Nobody knows in the school." And the principal said, "Sir, please calm down, Mr. Inspector. Obviously somebody has broken it." And I take full responsibility. Someone in the school, some boy or the other has broken it, but please deduct the cost of the Shiv Dhanush from our annual budget. So then the inspector thought, what is this? Nobody in this school knows who broke the Shiv Dhanush. But just because nobody knows the answer to this question doesn't alter the fact that Bhagwan Shri Ram broke the Shiv Dhanush. So it doesn't matter who accepts or who does not accept that we are the soul and God is our one and only. That is a fact. It's an eternal fact. In the Vedas, there are no amendments. The Vedas were manifested through the breath of God, and God gave that knowledge of the Vedas to Brahma, the creator. And Brahma could not understand a thing about the Vedas. And then he prayed to Bhagwan, because Brahma himself didn't know where he came from. He could not understand the Vedas. So he surrendered to God, and God gave him the knowledge of the Vedas. Bhagwan, Sri Hari, he established himself in the heart of Brahma and gave him the knowledge of the Vedas. That's how Brahma got to know the Vedas. Then he passed on the knowledge of the 4 Vedas to the Saptarishis, to the 7 sages. And from those 7 sages, the knowledge has come down to us, humans. The Vedas tell us that we are the individual souls. We are Jivatma. We are part of one of God's 3 main energies called Jiv Shakti, which is the marginal power, which is the Tatastha Shakti, because we, individual souls, we belong to Jiv Shakti, which is not a direct fraction of God, direct power of God, because if it was a direct power of God, then we would be omniscient like God is. We would have complete knowledge like God has. We would be equipped with unlimited happiness. We would have anand. We would be always happy at all times, and that happiness would be unlimited, everlasting, and ever increasing. We are not direct fractions of God. But we are not part of Maya Shakti either, because if the soul was a direct fraction of, if we belong to Maya, then the individual soul would not be conscious. The soul is sentient, it is conscious, because the soul is within the body, and the soul is conscious. It spreads consciousness throughout the body. Alo mabhya anakhebhya Chandogya Upanishad. So the entire body, from head to toe, is conscious because of the presence of the soul, which has no size, shape, form, or color. So we are not a direct fraction of God. We are not power that belongs to Maya. So we are Tatastha. Tat means the shore. The shore, whether it's that of a river or lake or ocean. It's a seashore or lake shore. What is the shore? Is it water? Is it land? It is neither, but it's both. So the Jiv Shakti is like that. Tatastha, marginal power. We belong to Jiv Shakti. We never belonged to the world. We don't belong to Maya. Maya doesn't belong to us. Maya is here to serve us, to serve the body. Serving us meaning serving the body. It serves us by serving the body. And once the body is served, the body has enough to eat, body gets air, oxygen, food, air, water, sunshine. Then we can think about God. We can think about devoting ourselves to God. We can go on the spiritual path. If the body is not working well, we can't think of even people of the world whom we love dearly. What to speak of God, whom we don't really love that much. So Maya is an eternal handmaiden of God, and it serves us really well. It serves us by serving the body, and it serves us by teaching us great lessons. If we become too attached to the world, then Maya beats us. Sri Maharaj Ji used to say, Maya takes off her slipper and starts giving us beatings. Maya अपनी चप्पल उतारती है और दे धनाधन मार लगाती है हमें, तो फिर हम कुछ होश में आते हैं. When we are beaten by Maya, then we come to our senses. Oh my goodness. Yes, God is my own. Nobody in the world is mine. This is the husband, and husband, pati means one who is a protector. And this protector, so-called protector, is beating me. He's trying to kill me. Oh, then this is the beating that Maya gives. And so then that person starts thinking, it's true. What I've heard in lectures, but I ignored so far, it's true. Only God is mine. Nobody in the world is yours. So the eternal Vedas tell us that we are the soul, but we don't understand the Vedas. The Vedas, not only because of the Vedas are in very high Sanskrit, very high level Sanskrit, not only because of that, but because they are divine in nature. And we are material. Our mind is material. We cannot comprehend the true intent of the Vedic verses. The Vedas, when we read them, we seem to think that we understand. It's so easy to understand. Yeah, the word Akash is used over here. Akash means the sky. Yeah, good. The word Atma, it means the soul, the individual soul. So there's nothing complicated about that. But Akash, the word Akash, many times in the Vedas, oftentimes it means the Supreme Lord. It doesn't mean the sky. The word Jeev sometimes means Jivatma, the individual soul, and at times it means Paramatma, Brahm, God, the Supreme Soul. And sometimes in one and the same mantra of the Vedas, the word Brahm is used, and once it's used to mean Brahm, the Supreme Lord, Supreme Soul, and at another time, in the same verse, mind you, it means the individual soul. How are we going to understand the Vedas? Only the Guru can teach us what is in the Vedas. Only the Guru can make sense out of the Vedas and teach the Vedic knowledge to us so that we may understand also. So people of the world will not tell us who is really ours. They will not tell us that God is the only one who belongs to us because perhaps they don't know themselves. And then even if they have an inkling of it, then the mother thinks, my child is going to go towards God. I cannot let that happen. Then he won't be attached to me. Then who will serve me when I become old? Who will serve me? I know of a devotee who left India to come to the US, and her father, living in India, had a huge problem with her being in satsang. Why? Because he feared that she would give all her money as donation and that he would not be able to get any help. Now, scriptures say that it is not the daughter's responsibility to financially aid the parents. It is not the daughter's responsibility. It is the son's responsibility. But the father, knowing fully well that she is walking in the right direction, yet put so many blocks in her path. He badmouthed so many people in the meantime because his selfish motive was being harmed. His self-interest is being harmed, so he did not want it. Every time you see that there is an obstruction in anyone going on the path of knowledge, besides our own mind, which is the biggest enemy we have, it is the family members. Why would they not want their loved ones to go towards God? For one reason only, because their self-interest may be harmed. My child is going to get attached to God, but I want him to become attached to me. That I want him to be considering me to be his one and only. How dare he call God his one and only? So the scriptures say, Matri Devo Bhava, Pitri Devo Bhava, Acharya Devo Bhava. Regard mother, father, and Acharya, your guru, as divinity. Mother and father in the same category as guru. But what kind of mother and what kind of father? There's a father like Hiranyakashipu who said to his son, Prahlad, you are not to worship God. Do you understand that? You are not to worship God. And because Prahlad was worshiping God and not his father, Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyakashipu tried many ways to kill his own son. So Prahlad says, I don't know any mother, I don't know any father, I only know God. Then Prahlad is not committing an offense. He has renounced his father, and that is not a sin because that father was trying to take him away from God. But if he had not gone on the spiritual path, and yet he had not served his father and not obeyed his father, then he would be considered to be an offender. But since he is renouncing a father who is trying to stop him from going to God, and the child is going to God, then that is not considered to be an offense. In fact, that is quite praiseworthy. So today we know the name of Prahlad. Why? Because he embraced the path of godliness. Tajyo pita Prahlad. Prahlad renounced his father. Vibhishan bandhu Bharat Mahatari. Vibhishan disregarded what his older brother, who is supposed to be like a father to you, he disregarded what Ravan was saying. He did not agree with his brother, elder brother. So he renounced him. He went to Bhagwan Sri Ram and took shelter of his lotus feet. And Bharat renounced his mother, Kaikeyi. So, Tajyo pita Prahlad, Vibhishan bandhu Bharat Mahatari, Bali Guru Tajyo. Bali did not listen to what his guru, Shukracharya, was saying. Shukracharya is the guru of all the Asurs, all the Rakshasas. And Bali, Raja Bali, is from a family of Asurs. Prahlad's grandson, Bali. Prahlad's son, Virochan's son, King Bali. Vaman Bhagwan, came to King Bali and said, "O king, I ask you for 3 steps of land. I want as much land as I can measure with 3 steps of mine." And he went in the form of a dwarf, and King Bali said, "But Sannyasi Dev, Brahman Dev, I can give you much more than that. How much earth can you measure with 3 steps? I can give you more." But God, in the form of Vaman, a dwarf, said, "But O king, I don't need any more than that. Why should I ask you for more than what I need? I need only 3 steps of land." And we all know what happened. But as Bhagwan was asking Bali, Shukracharya stepped in and said to Bali in his ears, "Don't give him what he wants, because that's Vishnu, that is God. He's come to trick you." Bali did not listen to his guru. He said, "If God himself is coming and asking me for something, then I am the most fortunate. I will give him anything. I'll give him my life. He is the giver. He gives to everyone. And he, the supreme giver, is coming. He has come here asking me for something. Guruji, sorry, but I will not listen to you." So Bali renounced his own guru. Bali Guru Tajyo, Kanta Braj Banitani. The gopis renounced their husbands because they did not want their wives to go to Sri Krishna. So they renounced their husbands. Bhe Sab Mangalakari. And they all attained divinity. They all were blessed. They attained the greatest blessings from God because they renounced the world in favor of God. So the world will not tell you. It does not tell you. There are many people who are following spiritual path, and they have gone through many, many trials and tribulations. They have been physically beaten by family members. They have been maligned. They have been criticized. They have been bullied, all because self-interest of the family is harmed if that particular family member goes towards God. Please do think about this and tell me whether I'm right or wrong. So, Guru so sevya so sambandh apno janu Guru so pyare. Learn about your relationship with God from the Guru. Brahma Sutra says, Ansho nana vyapadeshat. The individual soul has many, many relationships with the Supreme Soul. Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva, beginning from there, and then tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. You are my one and only, my Lord. Next is, Hari me Guru me bhed jani lavlesh manahu pyare. Hari me Guru me bhed jani lavlesh मानहु प्यारे लवलेश मानहु प्यारे. Do not think, O dear one, do not think there to be even the slightest difference between God and Guru. Yasya deve para bhaktir yatha deve tatha gurau tasyaite kathita hyartha prakashyante mahatmanah. Shvetashvatara Upanishad says, as you practice devotion to God, so must you practice devotion to your Guru, to the divine Guru. There should be no difference. You should not have this bhed buddhi. You should not have this thought that God is greater, the Guru is not as great as God. You must not think this way. Thinking there to be a difference between God and Guru is an unpardonable offense in the eyes of God. Sunu Suresh Raghunath Subhau Nij aparadh risahi na kahu Jo aparadh bhagat kar karahi Ram rosh pavak so jarahi. Tulsidas ji says in his Ramayana, Ramcharitmanas, that if someone insults a guru, if he finds fault with the guru, then the Supreme Lord, Bhagwan Sri Ram, who is so calm, who is so gentle, then the gentle Sri Ram becomes very angry. And he becomes so angry that the offender burns in the fire of the gentle Bhagwan Sri Ram's anger. He burns in the fire of Bhagwan Sri Ram's wrath, his tremendous anger, because God cannot tolerate it if his saints are maligned. If we hear something against a true saint, a true devotee of God, or if we speak about it, because whether we hear about it or we speak it, before we speak something negative about a saint, we have thought about it. And after we hear something about the saint, we are going to think about it. So neither listen to anything against a saint nor speak about it. And then how do we know who is a saint and who is not? So that means that we should be very, very cautious. We should be very, very careful. God regards these completely surrendered devotees of His that we know as saints or Sant, Mahapurush, Guru. The saint that we surrender to, the Mahapurush we surrender to and we consider as our own personal guide, we call him our Guru. That is a Guru. So God does not tolerate any insult that we may not be hurling those insults externally, just thinking about it is an unpardonable offense in the eyes of God. And we must be very mindful of that. Because God and Guru are equal. Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati. The Vedas say when someone attains God, he becomes just like God. Tasmin stajjane bheda bhavat. So Narad Bhakti Darshan. Narad ji says there is no difference between God and Guru because God gives to the Guru all the properties that he has himself. So there is no difference between them. In other words, trust what the true Guru is saying to you. Trust him. Don't think, well, I know a thing or two as well. Don't have that false pride that I have read the Gita. Sri Maharaj Ji used to say, he said that a person, some people come to me and they say, they try to discuss the Gita with me without thinking who they're speaking with. They speak to the Jagat Guru, Guru of the whole world, and they say, Maharaji, the Gita says this, right? The Gita says, well, you're working for a living, you're earning a living, and you're supporting yourself and your family. Well, good, that's what the Gita says. That's not what the Gita says. That is not what the Gita says. But everyone and their cousin and their uncle and aunt and everybody, the whole family thinks, I know the Gita. Just by memorizing it, I know it. It's a feather in my cap. How much do we know the Gita? We cannot know the Gita. We cannot know it. Only the Guru can teach us what is in the scriptures. And the Gita itself says, the Bhagwan himself says, go to the Guru. Bhagwan doesn't say, look, you and I have this personal relationship. You don't need any go-between. You don't need a Guru. Forget about it. No, you need a Guru. Accept what he's saying. Learn about the Gita, the Bhagavad, the Purans, the Vedas. You don't have to read them. Reading them will put you in more trouble than you are already. You're confused right now, you'll become more confused later on. Shruti Purana Bahu Kaheu Upai Chutahi na adhik arujhai. Saint Tulsidas says the world of scriptures is like a dense jungle. The more you penetrate into this, the more you enter the jungle, the more you are entangled. How will you become disentangled? No, don't enter the jungle. Just listen to what the Guru says and accept it. That's it. Once Shri Maharaj said, someone said to Shri Maharaj, Maharaj, you say that I should chant Radhe Radhe, but I'm so used to saying Ram Ram. Because Maharaj, I don't see a difference between Ram and Radha. Shri Maharaj said, well, of course there's no difference. But tell me something. You're having such a hard time saying Radhe Radhe, and you have an easy time saying Ram Ram, but tell me something. Did you come out of your mother's womb chanting Ram 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 Ram? No, Maharaj. Then I learned to say it. So you can learn to say Radhe Radhe as well. It's not a matter of ego that you must learn to say Radhe Radhe. There is a reason behind it. Do what the Guru says. He knows. You don't know. So don't be picky and choosy. I'll take this much from this Guru, but I'll accept only as much as I like. And the rest I won't. I don't like it. No. Accept everything that the Guru says. It's only then that we can go towards God. It's only then that you will make progress towards God. The person who makes very rapid progress, you must have seen such people. We all see such people. They make such quick progress towards God. What do they all have in common? They all have one thing in common. They have many things in common. But one main thing is that they are surrendered to one Guru. And they listen to the Guru. They obey the Guru to the letter. Or they try. They're trying. At least they have one Guru. That's a big thing. And then that one Guru, they listen to him and they try to fulfill, they try to accept the teachings completely. We have in our innumerable previous lives, and perhaps in this life also, many people are doing it, trying to dig a hole in too many different places, searching for water, maybe over here. Okay, I went 5 feet, I just found just rock, that's all. You should dig further. No, let me dig somewhere else. 10 feet, no, there's no water. Just dirt, that's all. Then I'll dig somewhere else. And in digging, in so many places, our life comes to an end. We die, and we have not really decided on any one path. That is being very foolish, being very ignorant. So the one who wishes to make quick progress on the spiritual path becomes surrendered to one Guru. It is, first of all, very difficult for us to surrender to even one Guru. It's very difficult for us to even accept that someone knows more than us. As we are listening, we are already thinking, but I think the opposite. But I don't think so. But I don't agree. Even as we are listening to the divine ones, we are thinking, I don't think so. And then trying to dig in so many different places. Serious aspirants don't do that. So,